Good morning, Collective. I'm here to do your daily read. Start off by sensing the energy. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope they're having great holidays. The ones that celebrate, okay? The ones that don't, well, hey, mini vacation. I hope you're having a great time. All right. Ah, what came out? Somebody's heavily burdened. It's a wounded warrior that's heavily burdened over future planning to travel. Somebody's been through a lot of stuff. They're heavily burdened over the forward movement, making a decision to travel, something like this. All right. Somebody might be bringing a gift to someone. Late Christmas gifts, something like that. Oh my goodness. Whatever it is part of your destiny, it looks like. Take it as it resonates. All right. And that'll be the end of the cycle for something. We're going to start off with overall energy and see what's in the air. I didn't pre-shuffle some of my cards, so I'm doing it on camera. All right, guys. Bear with me. Somebody is trying to conquer a private relationship. And it says just another notch in the headboard. Or the real deal. Actions speak louder than words. So, need to pay attention to their actions, my friends. If somebody is wondering about a relationship, you're being guided to pay attention to their actions. How are they treating you? How are they reacting to things? That sort of thing. Okay. Let's get an angel message for you guys. No more complaining. So somebody might be complaining a lot. They need to stop complaining. That's what the angels are saying. And stay optimistic about your love life. It says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Romantic feelings. Stay optimistic about these romantic feelings, okay? And stop complaining. That's what the angels have to say. All right, let's start off with overall energy. Somebody is in some kind of concern. What is this concern? Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, come through with what this concern is. What is this person concerned about? They're concerned about they have a mess. Okay, somebody's in serious concern about a message of concern they received. What else for the collective, please, this morning? What else does the collective need to see this morning? Change is coming. Whatever change is coming, they're in deep thought and concern about this. They could have gotten a letter, some kind of message in mail, or they could have gotten a message from me. What else for the collective? Come through for the collective, please. It had to do with somebody not courting someone. A breakup. Somebody could have been courting somebody and they broke up. Yeah, because they went to jail. Somebody went to jail, and it's a wealthy man. And it's about a child and their occupation. A wealthy man has a problem with a child's occupation. And it's a main male here. Yeah. We have a main male. Yeah, he's in his thoughts about this. He's in his thoughts about an occupation of a main male who's their child. Wow. What about this wealthy man here? And this child? Yeah. There's some kind of secret lifestyle. Something's hidden here. They've been hiding this occupation from their parents, from this wealthy man. Or they've been hiding a child. They're in poverty. Somebody in poverty is hiding a child. Holy moly, yeah. The ancestors. It's a main female in the community. In the collective community. Yeah, they're going to prison. They're going to prison. Over some kind of, somebody's going to prison. This main female is going to prison over some kind of marriage here. And it shows that this is her pathway. Or they could be trying to put somebody in prison. Somebody's wife might be going to prison. This is their pathway. Their journey. This is a high-honored official person. There is a privileged lady. Somebody that has money. Somebody that is... Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're going down. This is their toils of labor. They're a false person. And they got sudden wealth here. And some kind of property, some kind of house. Because they stole it. They have expectations about despair and a main male. who was getting unexpected money from this person. Or they could be receiving unexpected money because this person stole something from this main male. They were lovers. Yeah, somebody's getting a message about great fortune and getting a gift. They're being gifted great fortune due to their occupation. A mature woman. Holy moly. This is the distant future. There is a child from a wealthy man. And there's some kind of justification about this child. This wealthy man is fighting for custody of this child, it looks like. This is a mature man that is in bad health. They're in their thoughts. And this is sealed. This is not going to change. They're not going to change their mind. They're taking this person to court. This is somebody that's in the community, that is in the collective community. Well, that was quite the message for someone. All right. He's in concerned and in his thoughts about the message he's receiving here. That is the overall energy. All right. Let's see what else is going to come out. What else is going to come out for the collective here? What else does the collective need to see here? Please and thank you. We have a King of Swords. This is a King of Swords. This is a Libra energy, known to be a Libra energy. Let's roll the dice to see who we're talking to and about this morning. Hold on. I forgot where I put my dice. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, come through. Shows who we're talking to and about. Man. Somebody's trying to stop me from getting this message out. We have a Virgo energy. We have an Aquarius. Sagittarius just rolled into Sagittarius. We have Gemini. Leo. And a Taurus. Taurus, Virgo. Aquarius, Gemini. Sagittarius and a Leo. And another Virgo. The energies that call, the energies that will get a message here, okay? So far, we have a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius that came out. This could be an Aquarius or a Gemini. Take it as it resonates. All right? This is the person that's in concern about the change that happened. This person was not courting this person. It was like a one-night stand here. All right. Show us more. Show us more about this concern of a concern message. Measures of concern. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Aquarius or Gemini. That's what we have on the board. That's who it is. That's who I'm speaking to right now. Emperor. We have an Emperor upright. This is somebody that is an older person. This is somebody that is a boss of bosses. They are leaders. They have some kind of authority here. Okay? This is known to be an Aries card, but we only have Sagittarius and Leo on the board. So this is a Sagittarius or a Leo here. It looks like an official person here. Wow. Somebody could have went to jail, you guys, and had a child in jail, and they're just finding out about this. Yeah, this is a leader. This is somebody. This is a Leo. This is a Leo. This represents a Leo card. It's talking about this person is a Leo. They hid a pregnancy from a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. A Leo hid a pregnancy from a Gemini, Leo. Whatever. You know what I'm saying here. Or it could be a Sagittarius. Take it as it resonates, you guys. But it shows that it's a Leo. It confirms this is a Leo I am speaking of. That is an official person. What else? Yeah, they were heartbroken over something. Somebody's heartbroken over this. This is somebody that just had a fling with, I don't know. They weren't courting whoever this person is. They're trapped in their head about it continuously. Trapped in their head about this heartbreak. What else? They could have worked hard to try to put somebody in jail and give them painful endings. This person could have put this Libra, Gemini, Aquarius in jail here. Yeah, they're not letting it go. Holy moly, what is this? This is the message. It looks like that it could have been force. It could be a forced act. Or they're trying to say that it was a forced act. It caused them a tower. And they're trying to travel, or they're moving forward. They're trying to move forward, and it's causing them a tower. What else? Yeah, they're in poverty, whoever this is about. And they're isolated. I get isolation. Yeah, they took what they could, and they're a thief. Whoever this is a thief that's in poverty. Okay. They're in isolation. They're trying to move forward, but it's causing them a tower. They're supposed to learn a lesson in this situation. This is why you're having this tower. It's about new beginnings. Creativity. Unlimited creativity, unlimited new beginnings. They tried to steal this from somebody. What else? Just what else needs to be seen here. They celebrated over trying to steal this from someone. Or they want to celebrate new beginnings with this person. So they wanted to keep the baby, and they're fighting and arguing about this. They wanted to keep the child. They're fighting and arguing about this. because they're not in a relationship. One more. Yeah. And they're being disciplined. It looks like they were arguing and fighting because over this child. And one wanted to have new beginnings with this person. The other didn't. And somebody called the cops, okay? And they were trying hard to put this person in jail. It caused somebody a tower. They just want to move forward. They're in poverty, okay? Both these people are in poverty here. Wow, let's move on. So this is a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, a Sagittarius, or a Leo, and it did show, the ancestor did show that it is a Leo. Yeah, a child just showed up, okay? This is over a child. As I did the split, it showed up. This is somebody in the collective community or your community collective. They're going to court. And this is not going to change about a mature man. This is his near future. He's in judication, he's under judgment right now. He's going to court about something, this mature man here. They're in their thoughts about their bad health. And a wealthy man being in bad health. They're in their thoughts about a wealthy man being in bad health and a child. I'm telling you. I already pre-shuffled these cards. Well, I think you guys see me do it. I'm not sure. Show us what's blocking the collective here. They're promiscuous. There's somebody that's promiscuous, okay? They sleep around. They're hot. They're a hot free for all to sleep with. They sleep with your man. Or they could have been slept with someone's man. Whoever this is. Somebody slept with your man. They sleep around. They get around with everybody. Yeah, they're toxic. What else? What else does the collective need to see that's blocking them? This is a toxic, free, get around person. They sleep around. And they're trying to get some kind of love story. Somebody's just watching stuff go down. They're enjoying the gossip. What else? Somebody's sitting back and they're just watching. Yeah, tantric. This wasn't a one night thing. This was just a fling. There was supposed to be no strings. Yeah, they're all talk. A silver-tongued devil. They're big flirt and no action because they're a player. Somebody needs to really pay attention to someone's actions here. And look, this came out again. Somebody's on a conquest, okay? They're just another notch in the headboard. Or the real deal. It says actions speak louder than words. It says to pay attention to their action. It's saying that they're not a good person. They're toxic. They're all talk, okay? And they're undecided. They have a third party. Or this person could have been a third party. It says choosing between lovers. It says competing for affection. Yeah, they've been making it real hard for this person. One more. This is what was blocking you. They were in a relationship when they had a one-night stand. Yeah, they were in. This person is very insecure. That is your blockages there. Well, show us more. Show us what's the best possible achievement that could come out of this. Toxic love. It says strong, high, and intense lows. Somebody's bipolar here. Or they're just up and down. Sometimes they get along, sometimes they don't. What else? A thirst trap. It says attention seeker. It said needy and willing to sell their soul. That's what you got trapped with here. Wow. What else? It says snatched. It says extremely too hot to handle. Very attractive. This is best possible achievement. So they find this person very attractive here. And they're too hot to handle. Yeah. They're trying to trap this person because they're attractive. It's toxic love. What else? What else does the collective need to see? This is best possible achievements. You're going to have to trap this person. Or you're trying to trap this person. They think that this baby's going to keep this man. So they're trying to baby trap him. Yeah, it says danger, danger. It says online competition. It says someone you don't know is personally watching you. Okay, creepy. Come through. What else does the collector need to see? Ooh, that's kind of creepy, guys. I mean, the way that was presented and how the picture looked. Look at this picture. They're sitting there with all those monitors around them, and they are just creepily watching this person. It looks like this person could be watching. I don't know. Let's find out more. What else? We have naive romantically, inexperienced and overly romantic. They're easily tricked and manipulated by others. They thought they could do this. They thought that this was what was happening. They thought somebody was naive and easily tricked. And it looks like they're the ones that got tricked. What else? Or they were hoping that this good-looking person was naive. Yeah, this good-looking person was tricked into getting in the sack with this person. Wow! Are you that desperate? They're a manipulator, trickster, smooth operator. This is the best possible achievements. Best possible achievements is they can trick this person to getting into the sack again. Okay? They're deceitful. Whoever this person is, they're deceitful. They're a liar. Their pants are on fire. It says withholding the truth. Yeah, they withheld the truth. They didn't tell you. They're inactive. Resting, going within, wasting time, unwinding. Best possible achievements. What else for the collective? What else does the collector need to see here? It says stealth-like. It says take action and step towards something bigger without announcement. Somebody took action, they stepped towards something bigger, and they went within. It says Globetrotter. It says adventurous jetster. They just impulsively did this. This person's a racist, a bigot, a prejudiced person. Okay? Yeah. They might be phobic about something, prejudice. This person could have a phobia about same-sex type thing. They could have a phobia about different cultures. They don't like to be with different cultures or something like that. Maybe they have a phobia about being with the same gender. Or the same culture. Maybe they don't like their own culture. That's what I'm getting here. They may not even like their own culture here. But somebody tricked them into getting into Zach. Or they were trying to trick them to get in Zach. Obviously, they got in Zach with this person. Yeah, closet. It says skeletons in the closet. Secrets and lies. Whatever that they were against, that they acted like they had a phobia against, is exactly what they were doing. They had a close encounter. Somebody had a close encounter. Divinely protected. Yeah, they attacked somebody that was divinely protected. Okay? And harmed themselves in the process. This is a backfire. This is the message. One second, collective. Sorry about that. That is the message for best possible achievement. Holy moly. Okay, let's look at the past a little bit. Show us the past a little bit of what this person shows about these people in the past. They could have been gifting somebody's gift. Somebody turned their back on their gifts. Somebody turned their back on their gift. A child could be your gift. Or they could turn their back on a divine partner. That could be your gift too. Or they could just turn their back on some kind of gift that they were offering them. All right? They did not leave you hanging. And they were not fed up. Take it as it resonates. This is the past. What else about the past? I'm talking to a divine masculine that wasn't fed up. Okay? They didn't leave you hanging. They just turned their back. A divine masculine turned their back on their gift. Their divine partner. That's what I'm getting here. They're a thug. They're a thug. What else? And a thief. They were stealing energy from you. This is a thief that was stealing energy from you. Okay? What else? They were intimidated by you, threatened by you, bothered by you. You know exactly who this is? Yeah, and they ended up going to prison, and this is justice. They're going to prison. This is somebody's justice here. Or they went to prison in the past. This is somebody that could have went to prison. And the justice system handled it and put them in prison. Okay? Show us about the future here. Show us about the future. They were stealing your ideas, copying your work, and duplicating you. They were feeding off of you. They were hooked to your energy. And now you're happily single, doing you, dating, stress-free, setting your goals, and career-focused. This is the near future. These are things that you're not surprised about. You already knew about these things. I'm pretty sure you already knew about these things. I'm just confirming these things. The ancestors are just confirming these things. They are just confirming what you already knew, Divine Feminine. That was the third party. Was divine. Yeah, Divine Feminine is getting some shocking news. This is the near future. About somebody stealing their work. Stealing their energy. Stealing their work. Stealing your creativity. They were pulling and attaching to your solar plex. The only way that they were getting any success in their life is by pulling from you. You're getting shocking news to know that they got married. And you're not going to be shocked, I'm pretty sure. It's shocking news about marriage. Somebody in their ego. Somebody in their ego. Their ego got hurt. Their ego got in the way. And it got in the way of a relationship. They got married to someone. A female. A female got married. You're moving on, letting go, and loving you, and you're free. Or this female could be getting married, and somebody's about to get shocking news, and somebody's going to ask them and marry them. Or this has already happened. You're just happily single, whoever you are. You're Divine Feminine. This is somebody that's divine. This is what they're getting in the near future. That's what it looks like here. Somebody divine, the third party, could be getting married. Somebody in their ego. Somebody in their ego. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Whoever this person is, they're in their ego, okay? Somebody's happily single. It's a divine femme that moved on, is happily single. They're getting shocking news about somebody getting married. Somebody that's in their ego. It's a female. And they're moving on, letting go, and they're free. So this is the near future. Somebody's getting shocking news about somebody getting married. And this was a karmic lesson. This could be somebody that you were married to. A divine femme is getting shocking news about somebody getting married in secret, it looks like. Or somebody's marriage. Take it as it resonates. It's a karmic lesson, whatever this is about. Yeah. Somebody that's stubborn, they like things their way, they're very selfish, okay? They're very arrogant, and they're in their pride. They caught something in this marriage. They got a sexual infection, disease, and rash. What the heck? Somebody could have faked a death. Somebody could have faked some kind of endings or something. They could have acted like they did. Okay. Somebody could have acted like they didn't have this. That they were healed from it or something. And somebody was awoken that somebody had faked endings here. And it was a close cycle. Somebody could have said that this child that they were carrying was unalived. And the cycle was over. It was done. And this person, that's what it is. This person is finding out that they have a child that they weren't aware of. So they're going to court about it. They're trying to get custody about this child here. Come through? You're unbothered. Somebody's unbothered by this. Let's see where the collective is. Show us where the collective is. Show us where the collective is, please and thank you. It says Avenger. Somebody's having some kind of memory. They're resolving hatred, plotting. They're trying to resolve and this hatred and plotting that they did against you. What else? Where's the collective at? Yeah, somebody in their ego. Too big to fail, a narcissist, self-important, strong sense of self. Somebody that's in their ego here. So, this is a karmic, obviously. An Avenger, they want to resolve the problem. They want to resolve things here. They want to maybe come forth to apologize. They've had twisting road. They've had a very twisted road here. They've been navigating, looking you up. What else? They're looking for you, it looks like. This person's looking for you, trying to find you. This is where the collective is. trying to get to you. It says take several seats. It says getting on your nerves. Annoyed as F. They're annoyed because they can't find you. They can't get to you. They can't communicate with you. This is definitely a karmic read here. It has having faith. It says letting go, trusting in God. It says whatever happens, happens. This is where the collective is, okay? This is, they're just trusting God. Yeah, somebody working in their shadow. Okay, they're doing shadow work. It looks like somebody went within here. Doing their shadow work, they're trying to move forward. This is an elder. Somebody that's a wisdom bearer. Some kind of experience, tradition. They're kind, and they're in good health. They did some kind of report. They wrote something. They wrote a report, an interview. Somebody might be getting interviewed here. What else for the collective? It says it's bitter. They're bitter. It's a hard pill to swallow. Painful to accept. A wisdom bearer, this is where they are. It was painful for them to accept, but they're just putting a God's hand here. Okay. So there is a divine person here as well. This is where the divine person is. It has something to do with false reports. Okay. They're going to find out about false reports, documents being falsified. And it's going to be hard for them to swallow here. This is an elder, a wisdom bearer here. Somebody divine. This is an evolution and perspective. Somebody that could be in the mountains. They're getting their answers. This divine person is getting their answers. What else about the mountains? And this report, this report here. They made some kind of report here. Has something to do with an elder in the mountains. They're blocking finances. Yeah, somebody went to. They're unable to see the bigger picture. They have a lack of mindset here. So somebody they put it in God's hand. They were unable to see the bigger picture because people were being sneaky. People were being extremely sneaky behind this person's back. How is this affecting their environment? How is this affecting the collective's environment? Yeah, they were prey. They were somebody's prey here. They were a hunter on the hunt. Has to do with somebody in the mountains here. This is how it's affecting their environment. They were considered prey here. They saw you as prey. Yeah, this is somebody that this landed right over discovering the truth. This is an educator, a mentor, a guide, a teacher. They're discovering the truth here. What else? What else for the collective about this hunter and educator here, this mentor? This teacher, this mentor. Emotionally intelligent. They manage their own emotions. They have an understanding about their emotions, and they have an understanding about other people's emotions. They're very controlled. Well, this is quite the message, isn't it? What else about that the collection needs to see here? Somebody's getting a harvest. Somebody's getting some kind of harvest. This is how it's affecting their environment. They're getting a harvest for being somebody's victim, somebody's prey. This is an educator, a teacher. It says they're burnt out. They're burnt out emotionally, physically, and mentally stressed over a harvest. This is a teacher, a truth bearer, an educator. Huh? About a child. Here comes child again. This is how it's affecting their environment. They could have been using this child for a harvest. It could be energetically, spiritually. Okay? They were causing this person to be a burnout. I don't know. Somebody that's a leader here is getting some kind of harvest. They got harvest as a child. Somebody might have got a harvest as a child, or they could have been abundant as a child. And they were prey to somebody. Whoever was trying to prey upon this child is a burnout. Or they could have been, harvesting off of this child. This is a freaking burnout. A fire starter. Somebody, I just saw exit, there it is. I'm taking these because I saw this first. It says extraterrestrial. It says out of this world. Nothing like they've ever seen before. They've never seen any child like this before. Somebody that's salty, bitter, angry, and jealous. So they started rumors. They were listening to gossip and spreading gossip around. They're a fire starter, a true visionary. Somebody that questions roles. They're rebel and they were on a mission. These all came out together. Somebody started rumors about this person or about this child. Okay, it came out like this first, okay? So this was there like this. This is how they came out. They see somebody as extraordinary, out of this world. A young child. Somebody that's young, spiritual, okay? They have potential and growth. This young child could be watching someone, I don't know. They're whistleblower. They're tattling. They're telling on people. They find them extraordinary because they're doing this. Somebody. And they might be getting a harvest because of this. A divine femme. The yin to the yang. What about this young whistleblower? 3 of them came out. It says a non-player character. Controlled and can't be yours. Involuntary. Controlled. So they were controlled involuntary, this divine femme, as a child. And it shows that in some kind, it says love affair. Intense and unlikely out of the blue. And it says celebration is coming. Mum's word. Somebody scribbling out messages, trying to send you a message. This is a young person here, a young divine femme. They're trying to send you a message. They're non-player. There's somebody that's not even in the midst of this. The mix of this or something. They're non-players. There's somebody that doesn't play games. They had some kind of love affair. Actually, it goes, it goes like that. It went, message. Celebration. They're celebrating over a message. Somebody's going to be celebrating over a message because somebody's tattling on someone. Somebody is tattling on someone. It says they're a non-character. Okay? It says they're controlled and they can be yourself. It says involuntary controlled. So somebody was being controlled involuntary. Alright? And it says that they had some kind of love affair and it was intense and likely out of the blue. Okay? And it says that they were celebrating quietly, Mum's word. And it says that this was unsent message. A divine femme. This is how it's affecting your environment. They've never seen anybody like you. You're extraordinary. Somebody's salty and they're causing rumors about this. They've seen this as somebody saw you as a child. You've had this ever since you were a child. Somebody saw this. You're a divine femme. A young divine femme. They saw it when you were young, as a child. This is how it's affecting your environment. They knew you were extraordinary. All right, let's find out more. Show us the final outcome. Or actually, show us hopes and fears. What are the hopes and fears of this situation? Ooh. Somebody going to a treatment center? Somebody might be getting treatment, going to a treatment center, being hospitalized. Hopes and fears? What else? What does the collective need to see here? Somebody's afraid to be hospitalized here. Or have to go to a treatment center. Or they might hope for it. Yeah, and shows the financial center. Yeah, somebody's getting treatment for their mental status, it looks like. Has to do with gambling or their workplace. What else? It's a tempering. Somebody's sabotaging. A bully. They're deceitful. Persuading others and negativity. This is their hopes and fears. Somebody's afraid that that other people are gonna be persuading them to do some kind of treatment. This could be about a stock marketer. A financial center. They may not be able to afford this. A divine masculine. This is the yang or the yin to the yang. This is somebody's twin flame. This is somebody's twin flame here. That it could be a stock marketer, a business district. This is their hopes and fears. Maybe they hope that they could get treatment, but they can't afford it. Or they're hoping that this person isn't deceiving them, sabotaging this. Yeah, it says lawyering up. They're trying to get a lawyer. Refusing to answer questions. So the divine masculine is lawyering up. Refusing to answer questions here. Defensive and protective over themselves. They're trying to protect themselves with a lawyer about finances. Financial center. Okay? And a treatment center. Somebody might be lawyering up about some kind of treatment, something happening at a treatment center. I don't know. This is hopes and fears. They're clown. Okay? They're wearing a mask. They're clown wearing a mask here. And it's causing them a tower. It's somebody's twin flame. What's this tower about? What's causing this tower? The mask is being dropped, is what I heard. Yeah, they're not doing the work. Because this came out reversed. Eliminating and undesirable things. They need to clean. They need to get rid of things that no longer serve you. And it's a treatment center. They're afraid that they're going to have to go to their treatment center because of their financial problems. They want to go to a treatment center, okay? They're getting a lawyer, but they have financial issues, it looks like. They're sabotaging. This is a bully that's very deceitful. They're having a tower because the mask is being dropped, okay? They have not been doing the work. Somebody did a scientific research. They could have gotten some kind DNA testing. It caused a tower. About this research that they did. This could be somebody that's very scientifically inclined here. Somebody that's a genius here. They're a careerist. They're cunning. Okay? They have a vision. They're cunning. They're merchant. They're aspiration. They took on some kind of challenge here when it comes to some kind of testing, some kind of DNA testing or something. I'm getting DNA testing, okay? Shows more about this careerist. Cutting ties. They're expired, disconnected, in use. Disconnected. They're cutting ties. It's causing a tower. In this treatment center. Or they're cutting ties with the person because they found out that something about DNA. I don't know. Diva. Difficult to please? They're cutting ties with a diva. Somebody that's difficult to please. Better than thou attitude. And shallow and superficial. A diva could be cutting ties with this person. Tell me about this lab results. Clarify the lab results. This laboratory, this lab results here. They're longing, missing somebody, wanting you back. And says they're victim of a victim mentally, and it says they can't cope, won't cope, and they're a drama queen and a crybaby. So this divine masculine is cutting ties with this diva here. Okay? What's this? Oh. Because they won't clean up their act. Alright? They're not cleaning up their act. They won't do anything right. They're stubborn. They're a victim. They're always put on a victim mentality, okay? They can't cope. They won't cope. They're a drama queen. They're a crybaby. They don't want to do the work. They need to go to a treatment center, and they won't do it. They're missing somebody, and they want you back. This divine diva, this divine masculine doesn't want anything to do with them. They're cutting all ties with this person. They're lawyering up, okay? They could have gotten their finances dealt. They could have been taking their finances or something. It says splitting hair. It says differences are small. Finding fault in something minor. Petty distractions. So they have petty distractions. They're always finding something minor in something. They always have a victim mentality. Oh, poor me. Oh, this is why this always happens to me. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? This is what's going on. This always happens to me. It always happens to you because you're a diva. Okay? You act like you're better than others. Alright? You're racist. Somebody's a racist here. Somebody was saying that they were racist. Somebody was saying that somebody was a racist, and it was back here. That could have been a different energy, okay? So, we have Ryu Beauty. It says, somebody's going to take a vacation, a retreat, that's in a gang. Could be an occult. An underworld gang. They're taking a retreat in the countryside. This is final outcome, final messages. They're going to end up going to this treatment center, this divine masculine. They could have been in an occult, in some kind of gang, underworld. They could have worshipped the devil type thing. They're going to a treatment center. Okay? And they're doing it in the country somewhere, in the countryside somewhere. And this other person, they're cutting all ties with this other person. Yeah. It says, They're not afraid to challenge status. It's somebody that is not afraid to challenge status here. Q and ruffles a few feathers. They're a challenger. What else for the collective? They're in the comfort of their own home. Somebody could be an grave robber, archaeologist, adventurer. Somebody's trying to do magic here. Show me about this gang member here that is on a retreat, that is trying to relax and a getaway. That sees somebody that is not afraid to tell the truth, ruffle feathers. They peaked already. Their glory days are over. Show me about this person in their living space. Yeah, they were cloaked, disguised. They were concealing the truth and their identity. They were mysterious, not showing all their cards. This is somebody undercover. Somebody's undercover here. And they went to a treatment center and cleaned themselves up. That's what they do, okay? When they're in some kind of gang-related thing and they have to do some kind of, I've watched a lot of CEI, whatever, movies, and what they do is they clean them up. They put them in a treatment center and clean them up. They're cutting all ties with all these weirdos. These devil worshippers. They could have done some kind of grave magic here. Because they were undercover, okay? Show me about this grave magic. What about this grave magic here? Show me about this grave magic. They were gaslighting. Manipulating. Blame is without reflection. This is about this grave. Show me more about this grave magic here. Legal matters. It caused them to have legal matters here. Legal issues affecting their life. Could have something to do. They could be an archaeologist. An archaeologist could have gotten some artifact here that could be affecting their life, and they could be gaslighting people saying that some kind of adventure they went on caused them legal matters. They were gaslighting. They were a fake friend. Somebody's a fake friend here, and they're frantic. They're obsessed and all over and in your face. They're a pretender. They're jealous. They're doing graveyard magic on you. Return to sender immediately, as I will it, so it is as I speak it, so it shall be. It's not going to succeed, collective. Don't worry. If you're doing the right thing, you're going into treatment, and you're doing what you have to do, okay? And this person trying to do grave magic on you, well, they're going to get it in a backfire that is unbearable, and it's their own doing. It's their magic returning back to them. Yeah, it's about choices. Choosing one over another. Deciding between the other. Looks like you made a decision to choose yourself, collective, and they got mad about it. Boo-hoo. Boo frickin' who. You can't hate somebody for doing the right thing for themselves. Especially if they were undercover. Okay? Alright, come through. It looks like a mess came out of this. I don't know. Yeah, it's causing... Somebody's a drunk here. They're abusing alcoholism. They could be doing drugs, okay? Or they're trying to avoid this situation. So they went into a treatment center. Somebody's getting a very luxurious, somebody is getting a dazzling gem, something that is worth a lot of money here for someone. There's some kind of evidence here. There's evidence that somebody that is avoiding alcoholism, they're avoiding addictions and abusing these situations, and they're actually going to get a, it says masterpiece, a handcrafted masterpiece. Something very extravagant, worth a lot of money here. What else? Yeah, it says all signs, if there's evidence, all signs point to this person taking something extravagant here. All signs are pointing to this person. That they stole something. They're an influencer. They create fake accounts, fake followers, fake it until you make it. There's evidence about this influencer avoiding all of this. Somebody tried to say that they were making a choice, or somebody made a choice between people or something, and there's evidence about somebody doing the work. Okay? Avoiding drugs, avoiding alcohol, okay? And there's also somebody here that there's evidence of this. I'm getting 2 different messages. And then I'm getting somebody else as a fake influencer here. They fake accounts. They steal other people's work. Okay? They have fake followers. And all signs are pointing to them based on the evidence. There's some kind of evidence. This person got evidence on this. And this is somebody that got something. They took something from someone. What else about this influencer here? There's evidence about this influencer. They're being left out in the cold here. They feel like they're being left for dead. It says lack of support, cast off, rejected, dismissed, and can't sit with us. They're being left behind. This fake influencer here is being left behind. There's evidence. They got evidence on this fake influencer here. They are being exposed. This is the message. This is the final outcome. I hope that I help somebody out there. At the bottom of the deck, we have Rebound. It says, thank you, next. New life, new lover. Somebody's getting a whole new life, a whole new lover here. Yeah, wish fulfillment. I mean, did that not come out good? Look at this. The final messages are somebody wanted to use somebody and treat them as a rebound, okay? And it says, thank you, next. It says, or somebody got treated as a rebound, thank you, next. And they got their wish fulfillment, and their wishes are coming true. This is the message. This is how you're starting the new year, leaving the past in the past, and moving forward to your future with a new life, new lover, new everything. I hope that helps somebody. Love and light, and Happy New Year.